Okay, in this video, we are actually going to talk about a technique that's actually my favorite technique, and that technique is utilizing silence. Silence is a powerful tool and is vastly underrated, and a lot of people don't realize that, number one, they're not using it, or number two, that they can use it to their benefit. There are two critical time frames in which you can utilize silence in a conversation. The first one is after asking a question. So this applies to really any question. You want to wait for the response, but it's vastly more important on the price conversation. When you're talking to a seller or a buyer and you're talking price and you're saying, hey, will $38,000 work for you? Stay quiet. Use silence. Ask the question and then be quiet. Let silence work in your favor. Sometimes people will answer immediately, and other times people will answer after 30 seconds, a minute. And if you're doing it right and utilizing it correctly, there will be times where it feels a little awkward. You'll be like, are you still on the line? But during that silence, there's a lot of very important things happening, especially in the mind of your seller or buyer. They're processing all the information that has happened up until that question. They're thinking about the house itself. How are all the siblings going to feel? If it's a buyer, is this going to fit my portfolio? Do I like the area? Can I commit to it? Do I have everything in alignment to do this deal? And they're processing all this information for you to answer your question. If you do not wait until they respond, when you ask a question, you don't say anything, they're the next person, or the person is going to be the next to respond. If you say anything prior to their response, you interrupt their frame of thinking. And if you ever interrupt their frame of thinking, your chances of them agreeing dramatically drop. You need for them to mentally work through the question and answer you. And to do this, you need to use silence as your tool, okay? So number one, you use silence after a question. Number two is use silence until the person on the other line has finished their statement or finished their thought. You'll run into several different personalities, and one of the personalities, and it's a habit of a lot of different people, is that they will use ums and you knows, and they'll kind of trail off. They'll kind of make kind of a statement and then trail off mid-sentence, and they do this as a subconscious way to invite you to respond. And whenever you respond and interrupt their statement, it gives them the opportunity to not finish their statement and kind of back out of what they're saying. It's like an out. Don't give them their out. If they're in the middle of a statement or they're saying something and they start trailing off, wait until they finish talking. Because what you'll notice is that if you use silence and you wait for them to finish the complete thought, then you'll typically get more information, or they'll give you a golden nugget that you'll be able to use in future conversations or in that conversation. So make sure you incorporate silence after a question, and make sure you incorporate silence to let the other individual finish a statement. By doing this, you'll be able to get more information. You'll increase the chances of somebody agreeing to whatever your question is or the stipulation you're putting forth. And you'll be able to guide the conversation in the realm that you're looking for. And what you'll notice is when you start, if you have this discipline to control your ability to talk and utilize silence as a tool, is that you'll be more effective in your communication with that seller. But you can use this tool in everyday life. It'll make you a better listener, it'll make you a better communicator, and you can utilize it to guide the conversation in the direction that you're looking for. So my favorite technique is utilizing silence. Use silence, even if it's awkward, until they respond. Don't fill in the void that a seller or buyer might create for you because they've been trailing off. Let them finish their statement, and you'll notice a dramatic improvement in your conversations and your abilities to negotiate with the other people you're talking to.